Welcome to RSB's Cooking with Confidence show. My name's Callum Hand from right here at Sprout Cooking School, and I'm joined by Sarah Savage, an RSB customer and a team member. And today we're going to be creating an RSB signature dish, and we're going to be doing it using some of the assistive technology. What are we using today, Sarah?
So today I'll be using a couple of humanware products. The first one is the Explore 8, which is a portable electronic magnifier, and the second one is the Prodigy Connect 12 electronic magnifier, which will also take a photograph of the recipe and it reads it back to me, and it allows me to pause and then to replay to listen to the next step.
Fantastic. Well, let's get cooking.
Excellent.
So the dish we're going to cook today is a crispy skin barramundi with asparagus and quinoa tabbouleh and a herb yogurt. I promise you it's easier to make than it is to say. So the first thing we're going to do is get our quinoa cooking. Sarah, if you wouldn't mind popping that into our boiling water for us.
There we go.
So quinoa, it's just a grain. You could use any other grain here. You could use lentils, you could use wheat, you can even use something like a couscous to make the dish even quicker. That's just going to kind of boil away for about 10 to 12 minutes or until it's tender, and then we'll drain it off. So we've just got in plenty of boiling water. And at the same time, we're going to pop our barramundi in. Now, if you're doing pretty much any other fish dish, you'd put this in right at the end of the dish because it's only going to take a minute or two to cook. However, barramundi, because it's so thick, it does take quite a few minutes. So we're going to pop it in skin side down now. We just want a little gentle sizzle as we pop it into the pan. And we're going to cook that for about 2 or 3 minutes on each side until it's lovely and crispy, lovely and kind of just cooked through. So, just while I'm just kind of holding that down just for the first kind of 10 seconds or so, just to kind of help the skin stay nice and flat. Sarah, do you want to start making a little herb yogurt for us?
Yeah, no problem.
So we've got here some parsley, some dill, a little bit of kind of thick Greek-style yogurt. And we're going to pop some olive oil in and a little bit of lemon juice as well. So, make sure my fish is looking good here. Okay, so lemon, I'm just going to roll it on the bench here to make sure we can get plenty of juice out of it. We're going to keep half for our tabbouleh, and then half we might squeeze into our sauce there as well, Sarah, if you don't mind.
Yep, no
Thank you. Beautiful. Okay. Fantastic. So asparagus, we're actually going to cook this in the same pan that the fish is cooked in. So we're going to kind of, no one likes washing up.
No, exactly.
So we're going to try to minimise that. So we're actually going to leave a lot of flavour behind after the fish comes out of the pan too. So we're going to cook that in the same pan. A lot of people you see kind of snapping asparagus. I think it's a bit of a waste. We've just trimmed off 1 centimetre or 2 from the end, and then we're just going to cut them into bite-sized pieces. Do we give it a little blitz? What do you reckon? Beautiful. So, and this herb yogurt is beautiful with any kind of seafood really. It would be lovely with a little bit of kind of pan-fried chicken or something as well. Okay. So you can really kind of alter this recipe to your own needs. So, that's our sauce done. You're just going to get this asparagus kind of chopped up as well. The little bite-sized pieces. All right, beautiful. Let's have a look. All right, so the fish it's been in there maybe a minute or two. I'm just going to kind of bring it back down to a medium-high heat now. We just want that skin to be lovely and crisp in texture before we turn it over. So just going to give it a little pinch of salt as well. And then in our bowl over here, this is what we're going to make our quinoa tabbouleh in. So I might just pop this over for a second, Sarah.
Yeah.
So in this bowl, we're going to pop a couple of things. We've got some sultanas here, but you could use currants or really any kind of dried fruit here. I'll give you that one if you wouldn't mind popping that in. Okay. We're going to do our remaining lemon juice. We're going to squeeze in there as well. Now I've got some red onion here as well. I've got half red onion. I might just sort of use half of this, so about 1/4 of a red onion in total. Just going to finely slice and pop that in too. Beautiful. Pop that in too. And then if I just pass you another spoon, Sarah, can you just give that a little stir together?
Yeah, of course.
And the idea is by getting the lemon juice and the onion in to start with, the lemon juice is going to start breaking down the onion and not make it so sort of harsh when you have it in the end tabbouleh. Beautiful. So barramundi skin is lovely and kind of golden and crisp, smelling fantastic as well. Just going to turn that over now and just give it a few minutes on the other side.
Smelling really good.
And I'm just cooking it actually, so we're just cooking a little bit of extra virgin olive oil here. I've just sort of put it to the sides of the pan just to make sure it's actually sitting in that oil, so it's cooking really nice and evenly. And that's how we get that lovely, consistent kind of crispy skin, which is, if you're going to eat fish skin, you want it to be lovely and crisp. Okay, so our barramundi's just cooked, a lovely crisp skin. That's looking fantastic. I'm going to go into the same pan with the asparagus now. I'll pop the garlic in just a moment, but first, Sarah, I'm going to drain off this quinoa for you.
Wonderful, thank you.
And that's going to go into our tabbouleh, so that'll just soften up that onion just a little bit as well.
Right.
Lovely.
Stir.
And then because it is a tabbouleh, we're just going to tear some extra herbs, some more of that dill and parsley is just going to go straight in. Now, with the asparagus, we want to keep it pretty crisp, so I'm going to just get a little bit of colour on it. Then we're going to add a couple of cloves of garlic that we're just going to slice up. You could just crush them or grate them if you like as well. That goes in to flavour our asparagus too. It's a lovely way of cooking such a beautiful vegetable like this. Getting a little bit of colour and a little bit of char just gives it the most divine flavour. And then just at the last minute, we want to add some pine nuts. Now, just be warned, you don't want to add pine nuts until the very end of the dish because it kind of goes from lovely and golden to burnt in about a minute. So you do want to add it as your last ingredient. They can go in. Give it a quick toss. You smell those pine nuts as they're toasting as well. They smell fantastic. Yum.
It all smells yummy.
All right. So I'm just going to grab this this sauce to start plating here as well. All right. So these last few ingredients, the asparagus, the garlic, and the pine nuts have been cooked in that barramundi pan. Are just going to get tossed into our asparagus kind of quinoa tabbouleh there now. So that's pretty much done. Just needs a good old stir together to make sure it's dressed nice and evenly. And then the idea is we actually want to put some of this herb yogurt on the bottom of the plate. And what that means is every little bit of the quinoa and the barramundi in this case is going to be really beautifully and evenly dressed. So that goes on the bottom of the plate. Just smear that around a little bit. All right, beautiful. I might grab that one if I may.
Yep.
Perfect.
God, it smells so good.
Okay, that's gonna go on too. Yeah, it's really aromatic because of course you've got the toasting garlic and the pine nuts, but then all those herbs in there as well. It smells really, really delicious. Plenty of asparagus. And at this time of year, we're using asparagus, but at different times of the year you could use pumpkin when it's a little bit cooler, or maybe some little kind of diced zucchini might work really well as well. Okay. Finally, we're going to go on top with our barramundi, and that is our crispy skin barramundi with an asparagus quinoa tabbouleh and herb yogurt sauce. Well done, Sarah. Very nice.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed today's show. RSP is going to be sending out an email with the recipe that we cooked today, as well as some information about the products featured. And stay tuned on the RSP website for upcoming opportunities about how you, your friends and your family can learn some new recipes and skills right here at Sprout.